Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Still buying stock today while indexes are extended. Nice catch. I think probably no. And the reason is just it is extended and coming into the previous highs, the possible resistance level. And instead, I think I will try to sell some into strength today. Like Marvel, this one is already 15% above the 9 EMA. Maybe Nebius too. Yeah, but Marvel, I think I will sell some today. That's probably the only plan that I've got. Trim 15% around. Yeah, 15%. And then I will try to hold the rest as long as possible. Maybe I'm just use the 9 EMA until it got really extended. But I will try to hold at least 5 weeks, hopefully longer. I always sell my winners early, too early. If you have watched my interview in 2020, in early 2025, so I've shared this SMCI trade that I bought, I think in this candle right here, and then I think I sold it somewhere here. I think this day or this day, just for no reason. I think the market was extended, and then I just sold all. I didn't left any at the table, and then this thing is, oh my god, it went up another 100% in just 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So one of the toughest lesson that I've learned, and hopefully this lesson can like help me to earn more for this trade. Yeah. Let's talk about MicroStrategy. Yesterday, this thing opens really close to my stop. Like I really think about it. Whether should I like wait for the first 15 or 30 minutes or just simply just got stopped out. But yesterday, I decided to like wait for the first 30 minutes and let's see whether it can reclaims the EMAs or not. And this one did. Like I have a mental stop around like below this gap. So it is around 120, high 123s. So if MicroStrategies dip below 123, high 123s, then I'm just going to sold it all and have take a larger loss, because this thing opens too close to my stop. I don't want to get like shaken out in the first minute, and then if I need to report it, I maybe have to pay a higher price, or even I miss this one. So I don't want to risk it. I like after some consideration, I decided to wait for the first 30 minutes. So if I think this one is around 1.6% stop, and if I really got stopped out, if things return south, then it's around 2.5, 2.5x of my original risk. So I took this one around 0.3% risk. So if I got stopped out on this trade, that I will be around 0.75%, which is acceptable to me. But because yesterday the market opens, the cryptos, this candle is the first 4-hour candle, and I think this one is the first hour of the US market. And then I wait for whether it break down or just found support at the 4-hour 50 EMA again. I don't want it to get shake out and then it rallies without me. So I wait for the first 30 minutes. Not an ordinary decision, but that's discretionary trading. I don't trade biotech. So Galaxy is actually in no way, like it is only a 5-minute candle breakout entry. This is not an ordinary entry. This is kind of chasing the breakout. But I just, because I set my stop really tight, I think it could be like if it works, it is going to make a decent move. Like I think now would be quite a decent move. So around risking 1.3% stop, and now it's up more than 20%. Sometimes you have to find, like, because I missed the better entry, which is this candle. Probably you can buy it at this pullback. 5-minute pullback is also nice. And I waited for the first pullback, but not even to the 9 EMA. And then I just bought the 5-minute candle breakout on this one on Thursday. I think after I closed the stream. And it's probably also because of cryptos. Thursday. This candle, yeah, probably this one. As well as I think the general market too. I think Thursday is under like it. Yeah, this market. The first candle, first hour is the red. It pulls back and then it finds support and breakout. So try to play a little bit more aggressively on Galaxy. And the last one is ARM. ARM I entered yesterday. Opening range highs. I think the second minute. Yeah, this candle right here. I just bought the long. I haven't bought the 1 minute opening range high for a long time. I think at least this one works pretty well. So I'm really happy to see this trade is working. That's really nice. And Nebius and Marvel, those stocks are getting a similar move to SMCI back in 2024 or somewhere here, 2023. I think for selling, like for finding where to sell, it's really difficult. I'll be more lenient on like selling compared to my entry. Yeah, I think I'm also gonna sell some Nebius today. ARM 2 days ago, Friday. Yeah, I think I entered ARM also on Friday. But I entered on, I think on this candle, the 15-minute breakout. I also got stopped out near the end of day. How many times? I don't have a number. I don't have a limit on that one. A card is still going crazy, but this thing still haven't get a really huge volume, like maybe 4 billion day or even 5 or 6 billion daily volume, or like a 5 minute, a 100 million or 150 million 5 minute candle. That would be better. Like for the past few days, it's only like the ending up around, yeah, it's a similar dollar volume. So I don't think it's really good to like short for the past few days or today or now. Wanted to see more volume coming in first. And I believe for like re-entry, as long as like the market is not completely turned upside down, or like the stocks are, the breath is getting slammed, or like there's some huge change in the market sentiment, or major events suddenly happened. I don't think it's you should like set a limit for re-entry, or just completely preventing to re-enter a stock. Like as long as you're managing your risk. Yeah, I think it's completely fine. Like sometimes you just need to experience it, and then you gradually learn from that experience, and you'll get used to it. Yesterday, I think IGV has a pretty solid bounce. So this one could be a possible low setting up here. The wick of spring, an undercut of the previous 76 level, previous swing low, and with volume on this reversal here also, which is positive for the general market. And together with the crypto string, so right now I think there are more and more bullish signs showing up. ARK also breaking out. IW is also leading. It's like kind of outperformed the IWM. Didn't expect Circle is going up that fast. It's just rallying from the low. Gonna miss this one, but yeah, sometimes you will miss some. You just can't catch all the opportunities. This MVTS too, like yesterday is a really good pullback buy, I think. Although it's not that liquid, it's small cap. But if you bought the 5-minute breakouts, you bought this one around 2%. This one a little bit tighter. The car is getting some volume, but not as huge as I wanted, and not a gap up. Like if it is a gap up, it will be much better. But yeah, probably just gonna watch it. Nebius today's the first 15-minute candle is getting some volume. I think I will trim it anytime soon. Yeah, I just sold 15%, and then I'm gonna ride the rest hopefully. Marvel, I don't think I'm gonna trim it here. If it doesn't turn back up later today, then probably I'm just going to wait. I'm gonna sit through the pullbacks if there's any. Yeah, all the stocks are extended right now. And the market is getting so much faster, which makes it more difficult. Like if you miss the past maybe only the 2 weeks, if you miss this pullback, or if you're not buying down below, and then you hesitate to enter some names on this pullback, and then you get a huge gap up. Like after the gap up, I only entered ARM, and it looks like it doesn't want to slow down. Like it's still quite far away from the 9 EMA. So probably we are like coming into somewhere here, like a similar situation. Also a V-shape recovery after a huge gap up. So a pullback to the 9 EMA is guaranteed. So I mean, patience is all you need. If you're like chasing today, then probably maybe it works for 1 to 2 days, but it definitely would have a pullback, and you have a higher chance of getting stopped out, getting shaken out by the pullback. No shorting in this type of lockout rally. Yeah, BE if I'm under invested, like if I'm not that heavily long, then maybe I would consider entering it. If the market can pull back a bit, like I think I will enter BE on the next pullback. There must be a pullback soon, but I don't know when. I'm just gonna I will be just waiting patiently. CCJ. Yeah, the chart looks great, but the sector, not the really leading sector right now, and not that fast. It's not I would prefer like maybe higher, more than 5% ADR, and I want it to be a little bit, but I think it's fine. I think if we get a pullback in the coming days or weeks, a pullback to the 112 will be wonderful, or even the 50 EMA. So this is an undercut, and then there will be a great spot to focus on. It looks like the leaders are pulling back today, are trying to take some rest after the previous leg up. Intel is another stock that I want to get in. I'd love to closely monitor. But Nokia is also really strong, and also moving faster and faster. Fastly is the one that I think catch many traders off guard. It is going down for 40% off the top. Just a week, 5 trading days. Now it's at the EP's anchor VWAP. Let's see whether it can find support around this level. CoreWeave also one of the great names. Like last Thursday, a really great pullback buy. Now it's up 30%, more than 30% in just 4 days. And I love the increase in the volume. Yeah, and the laggards are trying to catch up. Quantum names are strong today. Yeah, I think so far so good, and I'm just going to wait for the pullback. Hopefully I'm not getting shaken out at the next pullback. Like with that said, it is not a must to get another like really good trending market in the next weeks or months. So this maybe we'll get something like the October 2020, like a chop, a double bottom before another leg up. Maybe we'll get a deeper pullback like this one in 2018 back to the 50 EMA. Maybe we'll get another one like this one in 2016. So still need to like monitor the breadth and individual stocks action. So like ASTS, this one is pretty ugly, not a good one. And I will raise my stops like when the market starts pulling back. Like I'm not going to give up all of the profits in case there's a really like huge reversals from here. So always protect the downside. There's a question on the Discord. So it's asking pullback short. So this one is it's a pullback short on I think 7th of April. Every red candles, this one, 21 EMA, and go free web, I think it's this one, 9 EMA weekly. But now it seems a little bit like trading in hindsight. So and it's a little bit unfortunate that the stock gap up like 1 day after the entry, 11782. Yeah, so it's really unlucky that he didn't get stopped out on this date, and then there's a gap up 1 day after it. I think there's several points that I wanted to point out. The one is I think a sign of strength since this 31st of March. So this is a huge green reversal candle. Afterward, it closed above the 9 EMA. The second day, it opens red, tries to go lower, but it gradually reclaims, still close below the 9, or although it's still close below the 9. But the next day, close below the 9, another day. So actually, it has been like showing certain strength along the 9 EMA, and the 9 is gradually turns up. It turns up. I think this is the first small details that maybe you can consider before the short. Like a better scenario will be like it found resistance below or like at the 9 EMA, or it kind of overshoots the 50 EMA and then have a huge wick at the 50 EMA. And for pullbacks, I want a quick reversals. No matter it's a like bullish or bearish reversals, I don't want the price to stick at the resistance level. I want it to like move away from those levels as quick as possible. So second one, regarding the weekly charts, I think it is more difficult to short a stock that is on a weekly uptrend, especially in such a strong uptrend. Like the 50 EMA is still quite far away from the 21, which suggests that the stock is on a strong weekly uptrend. I personally don't recommend shorting this kind of a stock unless you're shorting maybe somewhere above the 9 EMA. Like I think between the 9 and 21 is the win rate is lower. Or just ignore, just avoid shorting the stocks in a weekly uptrend. And the third one is like this SIMO is in the semi sector. So semis is, as you know, one of the strongest sector right now. That I think it definitely lowers the win rate if you're shorting a stock in the strongest sector. Now also, like if you could also consider the general market, like this kind of undercuts and reclaims on the 9 EMA, it's not a great timing on the short side. If you really want to focus on the short side, maybe at least wait for the fake outs, like it's like somewhere above the 21 EMA when the markets try to climb higher, and then wait for the reversal, the potential reversal above the 21 EMA. But I agree, is kind of difficult when you're trading midday. You don't know whether the market is closing strong or not. So I think this one is fine. But generally, in general, I think that your decision making is very nice. And the observation is great. Just maybe the wrong stock and the wrong timing. Little bit unfortunate. SIMO maybe this like for mid-March, maybe a little bit better. Yeah, somewhere above the 9 EMA will be a bit better. Weekly 9 EMA. You only bully the crippled kid, not the kid with 6 packs. Well, good metaphor, but I don't I don't recommend bullying others. Be a good guy. And actually this weekend I spent some time studying AOI. So I spent 10 minutes watching a YouTube video introducing the photodiodes. So I learned like photodiodes is kind of an opposite of an LED light. So a diode use light as an input and generate electricity. Is it electricity or like certain kinds of electric signals? That's all I know. I learned a lot. What sports are you into besides running? Football? But I'm just I'm not a player. Like I only played football when I was in secondary school. So I only watch the match nowadays. I also loves playing table tennis. CUHK people must know optical fiber. Yeah, no, the father of the optical fiber. But with that said, I still have zero idea how it works. So I really respect the science guys. I Science is another world for me. Do I marathon? No. I'm a really slow runner, just for relaxing or entertaining runs. BE on EP, I don't quite get the question. Tron April 10th, you put it at 2:30. Yeah, I think it really depends on like not my type of entries. A little bit chasing here and not not a good sector, not the leading sector, I believe. So definitely the better one is down below. Down below at the 23 EMA or 21 EMA. Or even like on Monday, this pullback. But this thing is low priced and a little bit, it is too illiquid. So it will be easier to get shaken out because the liquidity is so low, less buyers and sellers. Also easier to get manipulated. Yeah, but I think the better entries is at the 150 EMA on the hourly chart and the 21 EMA on the daily chart. BE, you've already in it. Should you book profits or add? Well, so I think the same question could have hundreds, like maybe not hundreds. Like I think both answers could be correct. First is where you enter it. So how much profit cushions do you have? If you only enter it, let's say yesterday on Monday, somehow you just nailed the entry, or maybe on the 9 EMA pullback on the hourly chart, maybe it will be better to just like let's talk about an ad, whether you should pyramid your position. So if you're entering a little bit higher here, maybe 165. I think it is better for you to add when your cost is lower, maybe down below at 147 compared to 165. So that's the first one. And the second one is what is your position size right now? So after a huge gap up, probably your position size may increase by a bit. So for example, if you like your original position size is only 15%, now after the gap up is 20%, maybe then you can have like a room for a 10% add, like to bump the position in for into a 30% positions. But on the other hand, if you after the gap up, your current position sizing is already at 30%, then an ad would not be that attractive or that suitable because like you will be over concentrate on one stock. Although like after a gap up, it will generally there will be a lower chance of a gap down. But for me, I still don't recommend like putting too much capital in one stock. So this is the second, and the third is your overall portfolio exposure, whether you are underexposed or overexposed, whether you're on margin or not. So if you're underinvested, only like getting 30% or 40% invested, then maybe an ad is okay here. But if you're already in on margin, or you're in a lot of different names, it's better to just not do the ad. And for selling, I really don't have an idea. I don't know. Like it's always good to sell some into strength. I always said that. At least to me, like personally, I don't have a strict rule on selling. As long as you are selling for profits, is fine. But definitely, like you can still improve or like hone your selling skills to elevate your trading game. But it really takes time, and you need to experience. Like you need to try. Like maybe you can sell some here, and then just watch. Like just see after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, are you happy with the sell or not? Like everyone has their own risk appetite, has their own personality. But if you want my opinion, I don't want to sell in a gap up day like today, like an EP day. If you already entered BE at before the gap up, like you have profit cushions. If this one is gonna pull back or reverse, you're still getting profits. You are only losing your profits, not your capital. And the market is just recovered from a correction. BE is one, you can see one of the leaders, I think one of the best leaders out there. But this thing has the potential. Yeah, but I totally understand. Like this thing is how much? 20% above the 9 EMA. So if you're following the 9 EMA rule, if you're using the 9 EMA as the trading stop, that you may need to give up the 20% profit. And it's not, I know it's not easy to get mentally prepared for this kind of pullback. Wayfair is one of the biggest gainers back in 2020. So I think this gap up, like this earnings gap up, if you it's up for 700% since the low of the COVID lows, and then it went up for another 100% after 700% move. I think QBT, this example is a little bit too extreme. I think most of us would sell at this. If not this, the previous two candles probably will close at this candle, like the really extended one, like a parabolic short type of a candle. Like there's a one gap up, this is the second one. It's up for like 1000% from the lows, and this thing goes sideways for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then made another 300% move. Although it closes below the 9 EMA before the final leg up. Yeah, I think MSTR, this one also several consecutive gap ups and huge volume candles. I think most of us were gonna sell on this day or the day after it. But this thing never closed below the 9 EMA, although this pullback is like 25%, and it went up for another 50%. But with that said, I think the selling in the whole position here is already really great. Like I think it will be a kind of, you can say, good risk reward exit. Like the downside could be like 25%, like, but the upside, like how far can it possibly further go? But this thing is this is another crazy move. Yeah, it's really hard to hold this type of huge winners, home runners. Home runs is so hard. Like they're too volatile. They're moving up so too fast. So the market keeps grinding higher, and maybe we'll consider trimming some Morpho if it went to maybe 140, high 139. So not doing much today. Like I think this is a great day to sit back and relax. So I'm calling it a day here. Don't think today is a day to take any actions. Sometimes less is more. Actually, I think most of the times, like if you being FOMO and like get some, like got some paper cuts here and there, it will affect your decision making during the next pullback. And I think the pullback is coming soon. We need to get prepared for it. So I think BE is one of the main candidate. Intel is another one. Yeah, and oil is now losing the 9 EMA, losing the 21 EMA. Not looking good. Sit back and relax. So see you in the next one.